Hello, welcome to my room. Thank you guys for rocking out with me for this entire process. It has been a hell of a journey, and that sounds corny, but it has been a journey from painting to picking out all the pieces. But we're finally here, so let's go ahead and break down why I made some decisions I made. I was going for I don't know if this would necessarily be industrial, contemporary. I don't know what type of style it was, but just woods and metals. That's all I was going for, and black metal, so black and brown. And that's why I picked this bed. It's a metal bed frame with a wooden, I think the color may be walnut. I'd have to double check. The exact bed is going to be linked on or in the description so you guys can see for yourself. But I like the look of it. It was pretty cheap. And on top of that, it didn't require a box spring. So I was like, wow, I'm going to save a few bucks on that. So I picked it up and I'm very happy with it. I've been sleeping on it for about a month now. And I can say that I don't think you need a box spring. I haven't had any real back issues while sleeping on it. So for the duvet cover, I went with this brown waffle textured duvet set, and I went with the California Den ivory sheet set. I definitely didn't have the heart to go with pure white because I'm not trying to end up at ivory whenever I ordered pure white, so I was like, forget about it, let's just go with ivory. And I like it a lot better than pure white. It's not as loud, you know what I'm saying? Overall, I will say the sheets are super soft. I believe they run roughly around 400 thread count. I don't know what the thread counts mean, but I can tell you that they're pretty soft. So if you're looking for relatively inexpensive ivory sheets, check these out. They will be linked below. As for the duvet cover, I really liked it because it was textured, because I was like, all right, look, if we're gonna go for this look that's gonna be somewhat just metal or black metal and wood, let's add in a little bit more texture just so there's a little bit of more contrast to the whole setup, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, at first I was a little bit apprehensive because the brown wasn't as brown as I thought it'd be. The brown had a little bit too much pink undertone to it, and I was just kind of like, I don't know if it's gonna really match. And after trying out a new set, I just was like, you know what, screw it, I'm vibing with it, it's working for me, and I haven't regretted it ever since. So I think that's a pretty good setup for my bed. So before we move on from the bed, let me touch on my nightstand / lamp. I was really happy with it because I didn't want to pick up a whole nightstand because I felt like it'd be too big. I don't really have too much room in here to put a whole nightstand, and on top of that, add another lamp. So I was happy with this, and it's like 60 bucks on Amazon. Definitely pick it up if you're looking for something that can be a little bit more versatile than just your standard lamp. Okay, so I don't know where this dresser came from. My parents bought it a long time ago, and I just took it from another room. I had a much bigger dresser in here, and it would have threw off the entire setup had I kept it, but the dresser really doesn't. It's a dresser. Just look up round dresser on Amazon, and hopefully you find something similar. Also, I do have this shelf right over the dresser. It's really nice for displaying my colognes and just keeping a few things up there. I do want to add a plant up there just to add a little bit more color into the room. That's something overall that I do want to do with this room. It's not, I wouldn't say it's 100% done. It's probably like 95% done, but adding a little bit of green to this room is something that I do want to do. Just because, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Just want to break up the monotony of just the blacks and the browns and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I think green would be like a nice little contrast color. May add a throw blanket or something, I'm not sure. So over here I do have an accent chair, and I think it's called a ottoman or a footstool, whatever it's called. Yeah, I added this to kind of act as if just like a chill spot, so I can come here if I've been on my computer grinding away for a little bit, come down here, just chill out for a second, opposed to maybe just chilling on my bed or going somewhere else. And also, it's just a good spot if I am gonna watch some TV in here. I would rather sit here and watch TV than lay in my bed, just because I want my bed to be for sleeping, and then this spot will be for chilling, and then my desk will be for whatever I have to do at my desk, you know what I'm saying? But I picked this chair up from Ross, so I don't know exactly where it's from, but you can find something similar in the description. Honestly, that's gonna go for everything that I have up here. If I couldn't find the exact thing that I added, I'll just add something similar in the description, and hopefully that will give you a little bit of an alternative or just something to base off of. You know what I'm saying? I do have this cool little lamp that's also from Ross. I don't know the brand, I don't know anything about it, but I'll try to find something similar. But I really dig it. It's kind of a weird word to use, dig it. I haven't used dig in a long time, but I do dig this lamp. The lamp itself has an exposed, like the bulb is exposed, so like the lamp shade is just like this wire mesh circle thing, and I didn't really like having the bulb exposed, even though I do have Philips Hue bulbs in there, and they're kind of already diffused. They're not as exposed as like regular bulbs, but still it just felt like the light was way too harsh. So what I did was I added some socks on them, and yeah, I know that is a fire hazard, but they're LED lights, so really fingers crossed that nothing happens. But I did add some socks. I ended up cutting them, dyeing them to kind of like match the tone of the actual bulb holder area. It's kind of like brown, goldish brown, so I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't look tacky to me, at least. Maybe to y'all it does, but you know, at least it's a good story that, hey, look, you see that lamp over there, there's socks on there, so I think it's cool. Okay, so to wrap that space up, I did add a mirror right over there. I added actually a lot of mirrors in here. I think in total I have about 4 mirrors in here. It's not just to look at myself. I know I have a beautiful face, but I wanted to make sure that I was maximizing the light or the daylight in the room, so I wanted to add as many mirrors as possible just to kind of open up the space a little bit, make the space feel a little bit bigger, and also allow the sunlight to just bounce off of the mirrors and just reflect everywhere, just kind of like to fill in the dark area. And speaking of mirrors, I do have a full body mirror right over here, this wood framed full body mirror. I got that one from Ross, but I will link another mirror that looks similar to it. It doesn't have this rounded shape at the top, but it is wood framed and it's a full body mirror. And I think honestly, if I had to choose, I may choose that one over this one, just because I don't know, I think it's a little bit bigger. But it is a nice full body mirror. It's directly across from the window, so like I was saying, you're bouncing all types of light in this room. And something that is kind of cool that I didn't notice is that it's actually a pretty good mirror to practice like recording stuff or like speeches or whatever. So I will be at my desk and I'll have a thought in my head and like, oh damn, how would I propose that idea to somebody? And I literally just turn over to that mirror and like talk to myself, and you know what I'm saying, just kind of like have a whole dialogue with myself in the mirror. And it's kind of weird, but you know what I'm saying, I think it's nice to kind of see how you're presenting these things. Like, do I look nervous? Do I look confident? How could I better emphasize certain things with not just my words but my body language? So I think that's pretty cool. And since we are speaking about the desk area, if you do want a full desk tour, just let me know. I could easily remake that video, because I did have that video up on my old YouTube channel that got deleted, unfortunately. But let me know if you do want a full desk tour. But this is my desk. I've been using it for the last 2 years and I love it. So this area is just really just a storage area. All of my camera equipment goes over here. I charge on this little side table that was from my uncle's old apartment. And also I have this rack that I don't even know where it's from, just things that I found in the house, and I just use that for camera equipment. But this shelving unit that I do have up here is actually pretty cool. I like it a lot, and I got it from Ross. I believe it was like 20 bucks, but I'm gonna try to find something similar, just so if you guys do like something that is that style, you'll have a little bit of a reference piece to look at. But yeah, I think it's pretty dope. Just add shelving. That was a big thing whenever I was putting this room together. I wanted to make sure I got some more shelving so I didn't have to clutter surfaces up with camera equipment or just other things that could just go up, like my colognes, for example. And also in this area, I do have a much bigger mirror as well. I really like that mirror a lot, and I'm just really kind of mad that I didn't move it over, let's say like 2 or 3 inches away from the window, just because it was a little bit too close to the window, so it doesn't give the lamp enough space to breathe. So it does look a little bit cluttered over there, but honestly, I put holes in the wall, so I'm not gonna redo it again, because that's gonna just be too much work. I'll probably only move it if I add like a larger plant over there, because like I was saying, there's not that much space for even the lamp to sit. So if I was to add a plant over there, I think it just clutter up the space too much. So I'm just gonna leave it how it is. And honestly, I'm not planning on staying here for too long. The goal was to make this place comfortable for the meantime. I didn't want to go too crazy, but once I started filming the videos, I was like, forget about it. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying, do a little bit more than we planned to, but I think this is enough to be comfortable right now, you know what I'm saying? But overall, like, the whole purpose was just, you know what I'm saying, have a new space that represents me more, you know? All of the things that I had in here were someone else's choice. I didn't choose to put any of these things in there. It didn't represent me. I didn't even like them. Like, the way that things were set up was just, for me, it was like, why is this dresser so big? Why is this bed so big? Why are these things taking up so much space when I don't even need it? I could have a much more minimal setup. I could change things and just have it represent me a little bit more, have a space that I'm proud of, you know what I'm saying? So that's the whole goal. That was the whole goal behind this, and I can honestly say I'm proud of this space. But that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else that I forgot to touch on, and if I did, I forgot about the curtains. Those were a point of contention for me. At first, I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying, let me move up the curtain rod to make it seem a little bit, like, make my window seem a little bit bigger and just make the space itself seem bigger. And it was a good decision, very good decision. But the curtains that I had on before just were too short, so I ended up having to pick up a new set of curtains. And the curtains that I picked up, they were supposed to be like a canvas material, but they were like super stiff. And they're blackout curtains, because this is I sleep in here, so I want to make sure I can, if I am up late and I gotta sleep in, I can get some good sleep without being interrupted by the sunlight. But they were blackout curtains, and they weren't like blackout curtains in a way that you would have, let's say, two pieces of cloth. Let's say you have the actual curtain material and then a heavier, let's say, black piece of cloth that's supposed to be a little bit thicker and just to kind of like help catch all that light. It was a piece of cloth that they sprayed on some sort of like rubber type material onto, so the actual curtain itself was like, it felt like vinyl, you know what I'm saying, like a vinyl sign, how it just doesn't fold right, it just feels stiff, and I didn't like it. So I swapped that out with essentially the exact same curtains that I had before, but longer. And instead of 2 panels, I went with 4 panels, and that was not it. I didn't like it at all. I felt like it felt just way too bunched up. So the solution for me was to make it into 2 panels instead of 4 panels. And honestly, I like it a lot more. It doesn't feel as bunched up. It's still fairly pleated, but not like to the point to where it just feels crowded. I mean, maybe I could do 3 panels, but honestly, with the amount of space that I have, I wouldn't be able to open up the window as much as possible and bring in as much light. So I'm just gonna stick with 2, and I'm happy with it. And also, the color kind of matches the duvet cover set. I wish they matched a little bit more, because why not? But I mean, I'm all for a little bit of contrast. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But guys, thank you for following this whole journey on TikTok. Oh snap, if you don't know what I'm talking about with half of these things, just go check out my TikTok. It's linked down below, and I basically walked everyone through the entire process, so you'll kind of see what I was talking about with either the curtains or the second set of duvets that I picked up and all that other stuff. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, please comment down below. Also, if you do want to pick up any of the things that you've seen in the room, check down below as well. They should be linked down in the description. And that is it. Peace.